In Zimbabwe, we don't cry for lions. It's an opinion piece. The guy with a great name, Goodwell Inzu. He's a doctoral student in molecular and cellular biosciences at Wake Forest, but he is a native of Zimbabwe. And this is what he wrote. My mind was absorbed by the biochemistry of gene editing when the text messages and Facebook posts distracted me. So sorry about Cecil. Did Cecil live near your place in Zimbabwe? People were texting.
Oh, my gosh, that's so funny.
Cecil who, I wondered. When I turned on the news and discovered that the messages were about a lion killed by an American dentist, the village boy inside of me instinctively cheered. One lion fewer to menace families like mine. My excitement was doused when I realized that the lion killer was being painted as the villain. I faced the starkest cultural contradiction I've experienced during my 5 years studying in the U.S.
It really does highlight how Americans have no idea what's going on in other parts of the world.
Correct. Did all these Americans signing petitions understand that lions actually kill people? That all the talk about Cecil being beloved or a local favorite was media hype? Did Jimmy Kimmel choke up because Cecil was murdered? Or because he confused him with Simba from The Lion King? See, we made that joke, too.
Yeah.
In my village in Zimbabwe, surrounded by wildlife conservation areas, no lion has ever been beloved or granted an affectionate nickname. They're objects of terror. When I was 9, a solitary lion prowled villages near my home. After it killed a few chickens, some goats, and finally a cow, we were warned to walk to school in groups and stop playing outside.
That'd be terrifying. Could you imagine if you send your kid to walk to school in a group because there's a lion in the neighborhood?
Yeah, no, it's
when you hear the perspective, suddenly...
Right, Americans get paranoid, what, about a possible kidnapper in the park?
Yeah,
which rarely happens. But imagine, having a killer lion that might be roaming right outside your village, right? You worry about your kid crossing the street getting hit by a car. My sisters no longer went alone to the river to collect water or wash dishes. My mother waited for my father and older brothers armed with machetes, axes, and spears to escort her into the bush to collect the firewood. A week later, my mother gathered me with 9 of my siblings to explain that her uncle had been attacked but escaped with an injured leg. The lion sucked the life out of the village. No one socialized by fires at night. No one dared stroll over to a neighbor's homestead. When the lion was finally killed, no one cared whether its murderer was a local person or a white trophy hunter. Whether it was poached or killed legally, we danced and sang about the vanquishing of the fearsome beast and our escape from serious harm. The only difference is there's so few lions left. This probably isn't the threat it was, 30, 40, 50, or 100 years ago. I mean, I read the numbers. The number of lions has diminished greatly.
It's so typical of us to go poking into other countries and saying, we know better, we'll save you, we'll take care of all the lions. We'll take care of everything. It's like, well, you have no idea how things work there. You don't know what you're doing. Mind your own business.
The American tendency to romanticize animals that have been given actual names and to jump onto a hashtag train has turned an ordinary situation. There were 800 lions killed legally over a decade by well-heeled foreigners who shelled out serious money to prove their prowess into what seems in my Zimbabwean eyes an absurdist circus. PETA is calling for the hunter to be hanged. Zimbabwean politicians are accusing the U.S. of staging Cecil's killing as a ploy to make our country look bad. And Americans who can't find Zimbabwe on a map are applauding the nation's demand for the extradition of the dentist, unaware that a baby elephant was reportedly slaughtered for our president's most recent birthday banquet. Shannon had that story yesterday.
I noticed that.
Right. We Zimbabweans are left shaking our heads, wondering why Americans care more about African animals than about African people.
Right.
Don't tell us what to do with our animals when you allowed your own mountain lions to be hunted to near extinction in the eastern U.S. And don't bemoan the clear-cutting of our forests when you turned yours into concrete jungles.
Good point, Goodwell.
Look at that.
It's true. I mean, how much money is being raised to hang this dentist versus how much money could be raised to help the 80% unemployment rate in Zimbabwe so people actually have places to stay that aren't under attack by the roaming lions?
I mean, you can always make the priority argument. I agree with that, but I also say these people just don't have perspective.
I think you hit the nail on the head for me. And
my problem has been the cartoons.
Yeah.
I enjoyed The Lion King, but the way that we have humanized animals, talking animals with names, because children love those cartoons. Great. But don't turn it into this.
But I think,
let's not get overboard.
I think you hit it for me yesterday. It's those pictures to me that are really off-putting of the big game hunters posing with these animals.
Yeah, that huntress with her giraffe.
Yeah, it's like taking all the power, the natural power out of these big animals.
It does look nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't look
You
right.
do want to see that person put in their place.
Yeah.
All right, our toll-free number is 1-800-520-1534.